Okay, and we back, and we know how we do. Ladies and gentlemen, Daddy is back in the building, so welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, 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 yeah.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, 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 yeah.
Riffin with Griffin, baby.
Welcome back, everybody, back in the building.
Riffin with Griffin.
Had to miss last week, and I'll tell you all about why. Daddy's busy. What else is going on? The WGA, the strike is over. Hopefully SAG will be next. I'm going through an EV car debacle right now. I'm going to talk about that. And I'm directing. A lot of stuff going on, but as usual, you know where you at.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah. Riffin with Griffin.
Yeah, love that. Have you guys noticed that Instagram is taking forever to like upload your stories? Doesn't it feel like it's taking forever? But anyways, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. For all you loyal fans, I know you're like, thanks for, where were you last week? You know, so like the 10 of you that are that are real loyal like that, you guys are like, where the hell were you, Griffin? I was waiting for you. You know, it is what it is. You know, life gets in the way sometimes. So, you know, that's how it just happens like that. You know what I mean? But anyways, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. You know how we do here. Comedy podcast, sometimes serious, sometimes introspective, sometimes silly, but always 100% authentic Erik Griffin. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. So we got, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You know, I'm always on Twitch. So follow me on Erik Griffin Gaming. I'm really trying to like build that up. You know, it's been I haven't been able to game as much as I would like in the last few weeks and stuff, right? So you got to hit me up there, or you could be, if you want to financially support the show, you could do it many ways. Patreon, YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, all those kinds of things help me keep the show going, and I appreciate you guys, as always, for being here. Today's sponsor of the show. Oh, you know what? I have this written wrong on here. I actually have to change this, but I'll show you this now. But today's sponsor of the show is DoorDash. DoorDash. Make sure you get 50% off. Okay, wait, let me turn that off. You get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to $25 value when you use code RWG Grocery at checkout. That's RWG Grocery at checkout. Limited time offer and terms apply. Thank you, DoorDash, for sponsoring the show. Yeah, you know how we do, guys. So what's the word? I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody had a good week. I had quite a week myself. Just so much going on, you know what I mean? I'm still acting in this movie, which actually today is my last day. I just had a really late, I had a really late call time today, so that's why I was like, I got to get my podcast in, because I didn't get to do it last week for just that reason. You know, it's just like, I just couldn't do it. You know, I was just like coming home so late. It was like 12-hour days that we're having right now. So I was like, oh man, there's no way to do this. How can I, you know what I mean? I was like, how can I, and it's just like, you just make a choice. I mean, I like being consistent with the podcast. And I'm sorry guys, I'm doing something at the same time because I forgot to like do this thing. I know people probably listening being like, what's wrong with him? But it is what it is. Okay, so just bear with me, people. yeah. So, and the movie's going great. Shout out once again to the director, writer, Charisse Dorff. Doing good. One of the stars of the movie is Lisa Edelstein. If you guys were House fans, so she was the boss in House. She was great. She's great. She really is a fantastic professional actor. Just being just the things that she's aware of. She's like, oh, I'm aware of stuff. You know what I mean? It's she'll be like, oh, this is the emotions for this and that, and she can make adjustments, and she cries when she needs to cry. It's just such a pleasure watching somebody be such a professional actor. So that's good. Let's see what else is going on. I don't know. I have so much to talk about today, and thanks for being in the chat. All you guys that are in chat, appreciate you guys. Okay. So thanks for being here. You guys are always welcome. And if you're listening on Apple Music or all the different places you can get your podcast, I appreciate you guys for, being there. So that's a pleasure too, to have people, make sure you leave your comments and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I want to get to. But something that's going on with my computer right now, I cannot see the live stream for some reason, which is absolutely annoying right now. This is the worst time for this to happen. It's like I haven't been doing this for a while, and then here I am, and then all the worst things could happen at the same freaking time. But whatever. This is what it is to do it live. To be here live with Griffin, this is how we do it, guys. So let me just see what's going on in my world right now. Let's see. Rachel's doing well. We're 5 months in, which is so awesome. I can't believe in 3.5 months, my life is going to change forever, right? So that's something that's I don't even know how to describe that for you people that are already parents. When did it really hit you? It's you're going along, you see the belly, and you're like, okay, here's something that happened too. I felt the baby kick for the first time, and I literally burst into tears. It just was I don't know. I was overwhelmed with emotions. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that. If you have, let me know if that's how you experienced it. Because for me, it was just you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that you know what I'm saying? It was just I was I think it's even though we're here, I've been doing it, but it's it hit me in a way for the first time that I was oh wow, this is really happening. Even though we've been to doctor's appointments and everything. I don't know. Maybe you dads out there or moms out there. I guess the mom is already feeling it because it's her body is changing and all this stuff. But it's when you're out literally outside of it, and you see the changes, and you're just how does it affect you? And people get affected by different things at different times. But for me, I just was just seeing that was just man, oh man. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. Maybe you guys out there can totally get it, right? But for me, it just was wow. Anyways, I don't know. I see a idiot in chat, so sorry. I'll get rid of that because I don't have any mods in here right now. But okay, let's get to some comments. Let's get to some comments, guys. You know how we do that here on the channel. Get some comments. Let's see here. HMB8404. What a great comment. How can you not like this guy? Right? That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's see. Back Stacy _ I think that's IBE. Onward and upward, brother. I'm here in El Paso, Texas, San Diego, New York. You're forever a fan. Love that. Let me respond to that. Rock on. Let's see. Look, somebody said this is like there's so many like so many things people call me because I have such a cartoon face, you know. But this is like I don't know what it's funny. Like I guess as a comic, I'm sensitive, right? I'm sensitive, but I try not to be too sensitive about everything because I don't know. I think it's about intent for me. Like if it's the intent is to be hurtful, sometimes I translate that as like, ooh, this person's. It doesn't matter what they say. It's the intent of why they're saying it. Sometimes is what makes things hurtful, right? But in this case, it's like Mr. K-YT says that's his wife. She's cute. Groucho Marx doing right. You know what I mean? Like, isn't it crazy how casual people could just insult a comedian? They just casually do it, you know? And then they think, oh, he's going to love that, right? You know, it's like, sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes. Let's see. Somebody commented on an old Steve Lee episode. No Country for Old Men is a fucking masterpiece, no question. Yeah, a lot of congratulations, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of great comments. So, anyways, that's enough comment. That wasn't a lot of great comments this week, but I appreciate you guys for your comments. Appreciate you for being here and all that great stuff. All right. So let's see. Let me just talk about today. I'm just going to talk about stuff that's been going on. So again, I'm doing this movie. That's why I couldn't come last week. And it's just been like a hectic schedule because it's an independent film. And then we were pushed back because of the strike. Then we got the waiver to do the movie. And then so the schedule is real tight. It's like I enjoy acting. It's a great movie. I really enjoy it, but it has cost me a lot of money. I'm just going to tell you right now, the things I missed to do it has just been like, this is a passion project. I love the director and the cast and crew and everybody's great. So it's like, I enjoy doing the movie and hopefully it'll come out wherever it's going to come out. Cause who knows in this day and age, things can come out and all, you'll be surprised where something comes out. You'll be like, oh wow, it's there. Hopefully we get into some festivals and stuff like that. So I've just been busy doing that. But one of the big things I did was I went to Washington, D.C., and I freaking directed my buddy Matt Rife's special. And it was, what an experience it was, guys. Man. It was just, it was so big. Like, it was Constitution Hall. There was thousands of people there. There was all these cameras and then the crew, it's like I've never done it on this scale before. So, I'm shout out to everybody, all the crew, the production company, everybody was very gracious. Everybody, with my green and experience in the technical parts of the stuff, because I had to have this camera meeting, that's what you do. It's a director. You sit in front of like all the camera operators. So we got 7 camera operators, and I'm coming in and I'm like, hey, everybody, and they're just looking at me and they're asking questions like, okay, this, and I'm like, whoa, and, the DP is great, director of photography, so he, if I have any issues, I would talk to him and then he would talk to the people, but I got to know everybody. And, so I'm having this like big time direct, I had that picture on my Instagram, and it was just like, so that was great. And then it just was great. It was 4 shows, I've been going on the road with Matt because I knew I was a part of this. And so I was like, helping with this set, just like encouraging him to do like different things. And you know what I mean? Like I don't write material because I just encourage like, hey, there's more meat here, or perform this way, that kind of stuff. It's sort of like a directing. I was already doing that stuff with him, so I knew it's set from backwards to forward. So there's moments you want to capture. There's like, they had this like jib, which is this flying camera coming in, capturing shots, and he's such a handsome dude. So like every angle of him looks great. You know what I mean? So it just was like, I can't wait for you guys to see it. So look out for that. So that was really exciting to do that. And it's just another field I want to get into, I realized, I used to coach basketball. I used to play basketball. So when I was in high school, I played basketball. I loved it. I loved playing basketball. I loved the thrill of competition, like being on the court. I remember I used to grab rebounds, and I would, if I was in a crowd of people and I grabbed a rebound, I would yell like a primal scream. Oh! I used to do that all the time. I don't know. I was a trash talker. I used to talk trash. And I loved it. So that sort of like feeling you get when you're playing basketball and that feeling of competition, I really enjoyed that. But I also found that when I started coaching basketball, I had the same thrill. When it's like, I know that we practiced a certain play or we practiced our offense, and then when I see them run it, I got the exact same feeling. So that's when I knew, I was like, oh, I love doing this. Well, I'm starting to feel that same thing. I love doing stand-up comedy. There's nothing better in the world. I love acting. It's great. I love bringing people's words to life. There's something special about that, this sort of like relationship you have with the work. But there's nothing like stand-up comedy, right? Just standing on stage and like making people agree with you or making people feel things. There's just something about that. I love stand-up comedy. But I got to tell you, directing, I'm getting a similar thrill. The similar thrill of just like, helping keep this thing moving and keep it together, I want to see where it goes. I mean, I would love to, like, I've done like little directing things. Like I would like a buddy of mine, like put together a crew to direct like this sort of like a little short, not a short film, but it was like a little short, comedy shorts. And then I directed that, and I was like, "Ooh, this is great." I loved being on the set and encouraging actors to do, get the best out of them, and I love it. I love that feeling too. So hopefully this is a new career that I can go into at this late stage in my life. And, if I end up doing that, I'd be thrilled with that, directing movies and television shows and like just having because I have an understanding of like comedy that I think I can use that to translate. That skill can translate into like helping people bring that out of them, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed that. It was a hell of a time, and it was like a DGA, a Directors Guild project. So, the Directors Guild's calling me up like, hey, you got to join, but there's a certain number of minutes you have to have. So I believe like you have to have like 120 minutes of like the finished product, and then once you get to 120 minutes, you have to join the Directors Guild. So right now, because of the special, I have like 75. So keep your fingers crossed, guys, that I get more stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was like really exciting thing to do, All right, so let's see, what else did I want to? Oh, so again, since I was talking about unions, something else that is going on is, so the SAG strike, SAG strike is still going on, and they're actually in talks right now, which is pretty amazing. But the WGA, they're back. The Writers Guild is back, and they have a bunch of terms. And I think they did a pretty good job with what they came up with, So, so I have the summary of the stuff right here, It's like the summary of the 2023 WGA agreement, So it looks like increased health and pension contribution. So that's pretty good, for people's future. One of the big talks was about artificial intelligence. So now it's like AI can't write or rewrite literary material. So it's all about the studio using AI, But they also, what's interesting about this is like, not only can the studio not use it, but the writers can't use it either. Or it has to be known, it's like a strange thing that's going to be. Like a writer can choose to use AI when performing writing services if the company consents and provided that the writer follows applicable company policies. But the company can't require the writer to use AI software. So like the whole thing was like, they didn't want it to be where like the let's say, the producers in the studio is saying like, okay, so yeah, 2 of you guys, we're only like, I know normally we staff this with 10 writers, but I think 2 of you guys can do this, and we want you to use the AI to help you. They can't do that now. They can't say you have to do that, But the writers themselves can use the AI as a tool, right? But it's tricky. So it's like, and I think that's fair. I think it's because I've been seeing how you can use AI, and I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy how the AI generates stuff. So, but I feel like a lot of writers are going to be using the AI and they're just going to have to use it, and then they're going to be like, well, let me make this my own now. But it's a tool that I don't think is ever going to go away. But it's very interesting how they put this in the terms of what's going on here. Improved terms for screenwriting employment. This was one of the big ones, so necessary, to make sure that, they can make a living, Now, this is the one so the residuals are the one. When a feature-length project is made for streaming with a budget. Let me get off of this screen for a second so you can see me full screen here, because I want to talk about this. So one of the big things is about like residual payments, right? So they trying to figure out, well, the streamers are making all this money. They have our products on here in perpetuity. It's like, we need to start making some money. So, there was like an agreement hit. But like, as you read this terminology, like I see the words benchmarks. So when certain benchmarks are hit, and that's what this one is right here. It goes, like, this is very tricky wording in my opinion. When a feature-length project is made for streaming with a budget of $30 million or more, the minimum initial compensation for a story or teleplay is $100,000, an 18% increase from the current rate. Okay, so you're going to get more money to make the feature and a 26% increase in the residual base. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit more residuals, combined with a foreign residual improvements described below. Yeah, because what was happening is like, the foreign market, so Netflix for instance has like 200 something subscribers, and a lot of those people, half that I think is probably foreign, and then you would make a movie and they're playing it in Istanbul, and the production wasn't getting any money for that, so it was kind of like, hey, what's going on here with that? So I think they're trying to they tried to get some compensation for that. So the thing though is that, combined with the foreign residual improvements described below, this results in a 3-year residual of $216,000 for projects on the largest service, 49% increase under the 2020 NBA. So it's like they very much are saying, like, again, and that's very particular wording. If the budget is $30 million or more, I mean, most of these little movies that are going to come on Netflix, they ain't gonna be $30 million budget movies. So it's like, this is gonna be a situation of the haves and the have-nots. There's gonna be a lot of projects that are gonna be made, and they're not gonna fall into this category, and they're gonna fall short of these benchmarks on purpose. Kind of like when like a professional athlete has incentives in their contract where it's like, if they start 17 games, they'll get an extra $1 million, right? Then game 17's coming, and then the coach all of a sudden benches this person, and they're like, wait, why am I being benched? It's like, well, because secretly upstairs is like, yeah, we don't want to pay him, so bench him or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they find ways around this. And I think this is going to be one of the things. I think this is going to be like, you're going to go to Netflix or these companies and be like, hey, we want to make this movie, and here's the budget we need. And it's going to be around $30 million, and they're going to be like, we'll make $25 million is the budget you're going to have. No more. And you're going to have, and then what are you going to do? You're not going to make your movie? Of course you're going to want to make your movie. I think they're going to find a way to like get around this deal. I don't think this is going to necessarily be a good deal for the less, this is going to be a great deal for the top 5%. Movie stars, big shows, Stranger Things, this is going to be great for. Wednesday, this is going to be great for. But like, what about like this little movie I'm in? This is a very small budget movie, right? I'm sure this, there's a lot of movies being made for like less than $2 million. And so those movies they're going to be like, okay, yeah, we'll put your little movie on our platform, but residuals, it's just, I don't know if this is necessarily a great deal, but I don't know. I don't know all the particulars. I just read through this and I was like, this is interesting, But I do think they should. So they go. So here's the thing I'm talking about right here: viewership-based streaming bonuses. The Guild negotiated a new residual based on viewership. Okay, if a series and films that are viewed by 20% or more of the service's domestic subscribers in the first 90 days of release, or in the first 90 days in any subsequent year, get a bonus equal to 50% of the fixed domestic foreign residuals. Okay. You know what I mean? For instance, projects written under the new NBA on the largest streaming services would receive a bonus of $9,000 for half-hour episodes, $16,000 for 1-hour episodes, or $40,000 for a streaming feature over $30 million in budget. You see what I'm saying? So 20% of the subscriber base is over 20 million people. So you come out with a show, and if 20 million people don't watch it, that's it for you. You're not going to fall under this. I think that they agreed to these numbers because they know the numbers. I think the streaming services know that they make a lot of garbage. Or I shouldn't say that. They make a lot of stuff that it just goes by the wayside. Not a lot of people are watching it. So therefore they know, oh yeah, we'll do this. If you get 20%, and we'll let you look at stuff. We'll let you see the numbers. 20%. Well, you're going to get more residuals. 20%. And then it's going to be like, we're going to go and watch in 3 years. No one's going to get this. It's going to be like 5 shows and like 4 movies. It'll be like the big budget movies, and that's it. So I don't know, man. But they did increase the terms of employment, which I like. It's like there's more money. I think it's like, writer producer weekly minimums. Like there's minimums they have to have, which I think it's fair. Like if you're on a show that goes, they're writing 10 episodes of a show. It's like, all right, you can't just hire somebody for 2 weeks and then fire them. Well, it's like, no, if they're on the show, they're on the show. So we'll see how that goes. They have they increased the terms of employment and the titles and all that. So there's more money to be made. So hopefully SAG goes in the same direction, hopefully SAG will do that. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see what's going on with that, man. But listen, today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. And I want to thank DoorDash for being a sponsor of the show. I love that you can get groceries from DoorDash, get the grocery shopping done. Maybe you made some pancakes and you don't have any syrup and you're like, oh no, what are we going to do? You just hit up DoorDash. Boom. Guess what? Here they come with the syrup. It's just the convenience of getting what you want right to your door. That's what DoorDash provides. It's always a trusted delivery person. The process is pretty simple. You can get it delivered at your door or they can leave it. There's all kinds of different options for how you interact with the driver. And I love it. I love DoorDash, especially like when you're trying to cook. Because I cook a lot now, and sometimes you do miss some things. Sometimes you just need some onions and a couple of other things. You just, boom, hit up DoorDash. Person goes. So, then now you're helping somebody. They're employed. You're getting what you want. The whole thing works out great because of DoorDash is doing what they do. You've trusted DoorDash to deliver your restaurant favorites. Now you can get DoorDash to deliver your groceries. I love it. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to $20 value when you use code RWG Grocery. One word. RWG, which stands for Riffin with Griffin Grocery at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply. That's 50% off up to $20 on your first order through DoorDash when you enter RWG Grocery. Listen, if you've never used it before, use it. You got to use it at least once. Get this. Use your RWG Grocery code and get up to $20 off your first order. I think it's worth trying it at least one time. But thank you, DoorDash, for being a sponsor of the show. All right. Thanks for being here once again, everyone. So let me tell you what's going on. I have a personal situation going on here. So as you know, I've been talking about getting this Fisker Ocean. Okay. Fisker, shout out to Fisker. I think Fisker is a great company. I think they will be a great company. I think what they're trying to do with the sustainable materials, making an electric car, making leather made from recyclable materials, like all the things they're trying to do, the message they're trying to send is to have the smallest carbon footprint. They're trying their best. It's hard to do, especially you're selling a luxury item. You're just trying to be that person in the market. Okay, so I got so let me just go back. So 5 years ago, 2019, yeah, right? 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, it's like 4 years ago, really. Actually, even before that, because you know how you get like the next year model early. Anyway, I wanted an electric car. I just did. I was sick of paying for gas in my car. Like at the time, gas prices were like similar to what they are now. And I was like, what? The amount, because I drive all over the place. I'm spending all this money on gas. And I was like, you know what? I want to get an electric car. So I'm looking around, and it's new at the time. Everybody had a Tesla. I didn't want to get a Tesla because I was like, everybody's got a Tesla. Like, I don't want that, right? I want to be a little different. So Jaguar, they had a new car, this, new I-Pace. I went, I saw it, I loved it. I got it. It's an expensive car. You know what I mean? And I bought it, which I regret. I shouldn't have bought it. That's the thing I'm bringing up right now. I bought it, but I did it because you could borrow. Like it's like a thing you could do. Like if you have a bunch of money in the bank, so instead of getting a loan from the bank, get a loan against yourself. So you could you could do this. Like if you have enough money in the bank, you could borrow against your own money, and the interest rate will be way lower. It'll be way lower. So, I paid, and then you don't even feel it. It doesn't feel as much. So you buy the car outright, I'm paying back myself because it's my money, right? And then the service fee to the bank, it's just a lower interest rate. Anyways, I don't know how the technical thing works like that, but it does. You get one of these like loans from your bank. Okay. So anyways, then, so I have this, Jaguar, and I get it, and I like it at first. It's nice. Jaguar makes a great car. It's quick. My car's fast. It's fast, but then you start having the issues of charging. Where you charge, when you could charge. Because at the time, I didn't have a charger at my place yet. So I had to go to different places. And it was kind of a hassle because it's like having a dog. You have to go water the dog. I got to go feed the dog and walk the dog. That's how it was with your car. And then you're spending like 30, 40 minutes at a place. Like you're just sitting in your car while you're charging. So it became a thing where it's like I had to get a charger at my place. And then it became a thing about miles. Living in LA, man, you got to go. If you're just in the city, electric car is great because you can zip around, get back. But it became a thing where like the 270 miles you get on a EV, on my EV, I find it wasn't really enough. Especially if you want to go, like my parents live in Oxnard. I'm going to San Diego a lot. It's like, ooh, this became a thing. Well, this isn't enough, but that's because the technology was new and it's getting better and better and better. Now, let me say this. At the time, Lucid Motors had just started. And I went to go look at that car, and I was like, oh, this car is dope. I wanted it. But the company was new, and it was expensive. And I was like, but I didn't know when it was going to be ready. And then, you don't know if companies are going to make it. You heard all these issues about Tesla before they really got their shit together, right? So it was like, ooh, do I want to be a part of the growing pains of this company, right? Jaguar's an established company. It's established. They've been around for generations, right? So you go, all right, I get the Jag. My review of an I-Pace is the car is great. The technology is not. At the time, the UI was slow. It didn't have enough techie stuff, and I like that stuff. Actually, the new version of the I-Pace, the tech is great now. It's because because they upgraded all of their cars. The Land Rovers, Jaguars, they all have this new UI that I really like I know that because when my car needed to get serviced, they would give me a Jag. They would give me like a different car, and it had that new stuff. And I was like, oh, I love this. And then I had this thing where like the 2019 version had 3G technology in it. And then all the companies, without warning, just turned 3G off. So that became a thing, because that's how you get all the information on your car. But they upgraded my antenna, so then they had 4G. But anyways, I knew that when the time was to turn this car in, I knew that the next time I got an electric car, I was going to lease it. Cut to Fisker. They're coming out with this beautiful SUV, Fisker Ocean. Everything on their website, they talk about the lease program. Fisker Fleece Lease or whatever it was called. I was under the impression that I could lease this car. I ordered it a year ago. I had to put $5,250 down on the car. Okay. And now I'm ready. I'm all through the year. I'm waiting for this car. I'm asking what the hell's going on. Where's the car? They finally start making deliveries. I'm like, okay, where's my car? Then I had to go on Instagram to be like, hey man, where's my car? And then they're finally like, oh, Eric. And they call me. They're like, hey, don't worry. Your car's on the way and it's going to come. And I'm like, yay, yay, yay. Now the time comes. I'm at the finish line and they tell me I have to buy the car. And the $5,250 is non-refundable. I was torn, man. It sucks because I don't want to buy this car. First of all, everything they said that they were going to deliver about the car hasn't happened yet. It's all like, well, in the future, it's going to do this. It's all kinds of like communication issues because I'm in these forums and I see what people are dealing with like, maintenance and customer service, and they don't have their infrastructure in place yet. It's not, they got a few service centers, not even service centers, just like little storefronts where you can go see the car and stuff like that. But in terms of like how they deal with you, they ain't there yet. So and I know in 3 years, this car is going to be like they're already talking about partnering with Tesla and changing the outlet so they can get the Tesla outlet so you can go to the superchargers without getting an adapter. That's coming. So that's going to be in 3 years, right? In 3 years, that's when I want this car. And I don't want to buy it. I want to lease because I know that EV technology is going to keep improving. The battery size is going to keep getting bigger. And anytime it's new, they don't know yet. That's why like you don't see any Hummer EVs on the streets. Remember how like LeBron James was like, they were hinting at the Hummer for 2 years. Now you can't find one of those cars on the streets because you read all the reviews about them. They're too heavy. They can't drive well. It's like it's too expensive to charge them. It's like all these issues. So it's like you don't want to be on the ground floor of that, So that's what I don't want to do this. I didn't want to get to Fisker. I was like, it really ticks me off because I'm like, you made it seem like I can lease this car, and then at the finish line, you tell me I got to buy it. And the person I was talking to on the phone, who I was dealing with, I could tell that person was like, ooh, yeah, I know. I understand how you must feel, So then I had to make this Sophie's choice. Do I lose the $5,000? Did I deposit it like over a year ago? So it's not even like I feel that money, right? And this is first world problems. I obviously totally, there's people that are listening that this is like, what are you talking about, Griffin? I get it, right? But I'm just telling you my truth, okay? I'm just talking about my truth right now, right? So this is what it is. So yeah, I don't feel the 5,000. It's like whatever, you know what I mean? I know the trolls think I'm broke because I'm just gonna send Rachel to work harder at Target. Anyways, it's like it doesn't matter, right? So I'm just like, it's the principle of it. So I had this choice: do I buy the car and deal with the uncertainty, or do I get my peace of mind and lease? Cut to Lucid Motors is offering a lease program. That lets me know the companies where they need to be, because they're going, yeah, we can lease. You can lease now, and we'll take the car back, and we know we can sell it or do whatever. But they're offering a lease program, and I was like, I went down. I went to Century City. They have a Lucid Motors there. I looked at the car, and I remembered how I loved this car when I sat in it 4 years ago. And then I just impulse buy made the choice. Rachel was with me. I looked at her and said, I love this car. I want to get this. And so I did it. I ordered my Lucid Motors car. So I'm getting a Grand, not the Grand. The Grand Touring is like too expensive. That's like buying a Ferrari or something. But I'm getting the Air Touring model. I love it. The glass roof and the tech. And I've been looking at a lot of videos. I think there's still some issues, and they keep improving them. I love the car that can get like an over-the-air update. That's what I love about the EV cars too. You know, it's like, oh man, this is wrong, and then they send you an update. It's like your phone, right? It's great. So I'm getting that car. That's what I'm getting, guys. And then what I'm gonna do is when I get the car, I'm gonna do a complete review of the car, the whole process of going to get it. I'm gonna bring my GoPro, and that's gonna be that episode. So if you're listening to the podcast, this is great, and I'll still have my listening portion, you know, like the stuff that I do right now, but you might want to take a gander at that on YouTube. Uh-oh. Here we go. This is a national alert. Wow, live on stream. You know what I mean? So we just had a national alert, guys. This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. Okay, well, that worked, huh? That's crazy. So, you know what I mean? So I see somebody in chat said, I paint cars. I've yet to see a Fisker or a Lucid. Well, I would hope that, I think that when you're buying a luxury car, I don't think that, first of all, you wouldn't see Fisker unless somebody's trying to do a custom paint job. And I don't think someone's going to do that because of the warranties of the car. Like, actually, a lot of stuff is covered. Like, that's another thing, too, man. Or two things. Let me go back. So I have this Jaguar, right? I-Pace. They don't hold their value. Electric cars don't hold their value. So that's the also thing when you go into the luxury, if you want to get a luxury EV, this sucker, man, I'm having issues. Like, I'm going to go sell my car today. That's the thing, too, and I know that this Fisker Ocean is not going to hold this value. This new version of this new base, like the newest version now, like this just, you know, in 3 years, no one's going to want this one because they would have made tons of improvements. And you could be like, well, why would I pay whatever amount of money for that car when they already making this new version that's like better? You know what I mean? So that's the thing too about it. So anybody out there trying to get an electric car, like, you know, if you want the electric car because you want like not to pay for gas and you want something economical, there's plenty of options out there that are under $40,000 that you could get. Hyundai makes some good ones. Toyota, all these companies are making really great cars that you could get, great prices, you know, but you know, daddy's doing okay. So I wanted to get, you know, so that's what I have to deal with. But I don't imagine you would see if you paint cars, any of these cars, because they got very expensive paint jobs on the cars already is the point I was trying to make there. So. Yeah, man. So I don't know, guys. I'll keep you informed of like the journey I'm going on, but we'll see how it goes. But as of right now, I got my Lucid. I got it like ordered, and I'm ready to pick it up. You know, they actually send an Uber Black for you, and then you go to the center, and they, you know, you get your car all set up and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing all that. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, that was like the line producer of the show, of the movie I'm doing, just hit me up. Hey, Eric, can you go get a haircut? So anyways, guys, that's my little thing that's going on with me. So, all right, let's go to the crazy internet topics. Crazy internet topics of the week. And once again, thanks for being here with Riffin with Griffin. So this is one that I had this whole like internet situation with. So the new California law raises minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 an hour. Okay? $20 an hour. They're going to raise the minimum wage. How do I feel about this? Whatever. Fast food companies make a lot of money. Yeah, pay your workers, right? I think we learned during the pandemic that that's not a great job. Not that we already didn't know that wasn't a great job, but at the same time, it's like people were like, ugh, they were getting money from the government. And then it was like, why do I not go back to this? To me, it was always a sign that like you didn't make a good work environment either, some of these places. So that's why people were just walking out of their jobs. They were like, see ya, Burger King, and just leaving the job because they're like, why am I putting up with all this nonsense? I have to deal with shitty customers. My manager's an ass, and then I make no money. So I get it. So then you get to do something. And then, people, I don't know what the purpose of this is, but it's California is set to implement a new law that will raise the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 per hour starting on April 1st of next year, making it the highest guaranteed base salary in the industry. The move recognizes that many fast food workers are the primary earners in low-income households. Okay, trying to do their part. Here's my feeling about it. There's no way that these fast food companies are going to just roll over and be like, okay, we're going to pay out more money. There's no way they're just going to roll over and do that. And the way they're going to get back is raising the prices. So like I wrote on this thing, and it's on one of my favorite sites to look at on Instagram, Pubity, Pubity. Follow them. They got a lot of great stories. I wrote, well, here comes the $75 kids meal with no toy. Right? Now, what do you think I mean by that? That's what I mean by it. I mean that corporate greed is going to take over. I mean that like these companies are going to be like, oh, okay, you want us to pay our workers $20 an hour? All right, well, we're going to raise the prices. And we're going to not have as many workers. They're going to start doing the self-service is going to be everywhere now. They're gonna look into robot technology where you order and then it's like an arm comes, you know what I mean? And then there's your hamburger. That's what they're gonna start doing. They're gonna be like, okay, yeah, we'll raise the prices, but we're just gonna we're not gonna have any. We're gonna raise the prices and we're not gonna hire as many people. That's how they're gonna do it, But of course, the internet being what it is, these people like you want to talk about some dumb comments from people? There's this one idiot who was like going at me like this is what I'm saying, like this, and I'm going to tell you what I think about this. I know why this happened. So this guy writes, literally every country that pays their fast food staff a living wage has practically the same prices as us. You would think you'd understand the sentiment of getting your fair share of the profits considering your line of work. Hey, dumb bitch. I'm on your side. It's like, here's what happens. I realize this from this interaction. I realize people interpret what you're saying to what they want it to be so they can make their point. That's what the internet is lacking, is back and forth dialogue, discourse. Instead of assuming what somebody thinks, you should ask. But you don't get to do that on the internet. And then when you're a comic, even if because like I'm being facetious, this is even a joke too. It's a joke and I'm being serious when I say, well, here comes the $75 meal, kids meal with no toy. Like this idiot took that as I'm anti-worker. What? You know what I mean? So instead of like being like, hey, Griffin, what are you saying? then I could be like, yeah, these companies are greedy. They're not going to roll over and do this. No, this guy had to virtue signal, get on his internet high horse. You know what I mean? All the freaking like keyboard warriors have to show, hey, everybody that's looking at this, I'm a good person, and I need to show you by attacking this basic cable celebrity. Anyways, it's really stupid. But getting back to the real point of this is like, I think Gavin Newsom is a fucking idiot. You know, I really do. I think this guy he is an internet governor. You know what I mean? He's like total internet governor. And he's like, oh yeah, look what I'm doing. It's like, it needs to be more than just, hey, we're going to raise the prices and hey, you guys can do whatever you want. Like what? It's like, I just don't understand how that's going to benefit anybody, because I'm telling you, we're going to be paying for, and maybe that's not a bad thing. You know, it's like, you know, fast food's already expensive in my opinion. Have y'all been to some of these places recently? You know, because I'm 51, so I can remember when you went to fast food because it was cheap. Man, sometimes you get a few things. Maybe you're getting, you know, let's 4 or 5 of you, and you just chill. Hey, let's get some burgers and fries, and so we can go to this whatever. And you like, damn, $60. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's like they already been raising prices, and they're gonna raise them even more after this. So, yeah, that's what I feel about that. All right. Next one. Did y'all see Britney Spears? I'm like, Britney, what are you doing? At this point, she's just trolling us, right? I mean, Britney's trolling us, right? You know, like this spot in her house where she does all her dancing. It's like, do you, right? Like, what should it matter? Like, let Britney do you, girl? But when you were in a conservatorship for 13 years because they thought you were crazy, they thought you were unstable, they thought you needed supervision, and then we fought, everybody was like, you know, being on their high horse, like, we got to save Britney, and then you dancing with butcher knives? I mean, we start to go, conservatorship. I don't know. Again, if she's just trolling and she's fully aware of like that, she's just like getting attention because she needs it, because she's not really Britney Spears anymore. You know what I mean? It just happens to everyone. You know, Britney's going through, like, Britney and Madonna going through the same thing where they just can't, like, it's like when you're the highest of highs and you were just celebrated for being like an artist, and then you're also like sexualized, and, you know, all of the things that go on with being a superstar in the public eye, it don't last forever. And then you just like this chick, you know what I mean? And then you're like, who's this? Like, this don't even look like Oops, I Did It Again person. Who is this? Who is this? What are you doing? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just venting and commenting on this subject because it's just craziness. All right, the next one, guys. So, you know, the new iPhone's out, right? Okay? New iPhone's out. And they finally getting rid of the lightning thing. So they go into a more universal thing, which I'm like, great. Let's go universal with that. Because I used to hate, remember, like, it's like 10, 15 years ago, they kept changing the cord, no warning. Hotels still have those radios with the stupid plug from like iPhone 2. You know what I mean? You ever go to a hotel and you're like, who's using that? You can't even plug this in. So now everything's going to this more universal USB-C. Like your laptop is USB-C now. My iPad is USB-C now. They're just going to get rid of Lightning. Let's go USB-C. But I have a problem with this. Apple warns people not to use Android USB-C chargers to avoid overheating. Nah, man. That's on purpose. Y'all, these companies, stop. Stop with this. I almost feel like Android's doing that on purpose. Yeah, let's put like an extra wattage in ours so when the iPhone people use it, it blows them up, and then so you have to use an Android or something. Make it universal across the board. Stop this nonsense, man. Make it universal so we can use whatever chords we want and not have an issue. I mean, it's just craziness, man. Absolute craziness. All right, next one. Dude, what's up with Joe Biden's dog? Joe Biden's family dog bites yet another Secret Service agent, making it his 11th attack. This dog has bit 11 people. Sometimes, sometimes it's time to go. Yeah, that dog got to go. Imagine you a Secret Service agent and it's like your job. It's one thing when you a mailman and you have to deliver mail and you have to walk through a yard to get the mail to the mailbox and there's some big ass German Shepherd trying to bite you. So you're like, well, goddamn, man, do something about your dog, right? So you have to put up with that because you're a mail person. You have to deal with all that, right? Okay. But if you're a Secret Service agent, imagine your job is to protect this man's life. Your job is to make sure he gets from point A to point B safely. And his dog is biting you? Imagine, you in JFK's convertible. You know what I mean? You already mad it's a convertible. This is the president of the United States. What the hell we doing in a convertible during a parade? And it turns the corner. You go, oh, wait a minute, I see a glint. And then the dog bites you. And then pow, president dead. I mean, that's how that kind of stuff happens. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably, maybe we didn't know about that. JFK had a dog that was biting people, and this is how it happened. It's just like, I would be out. If I'm a Secret Service agent and the president's dog is attacking my fellow agents, I'm like, get your dumbass dog out of here, dude. Anyways, crazy story to me. Oh, is that the last one? Yo, that was the last one. You know what? We had a good episode today. I'm back. I'm off the heels of working hard, and I had a really late call time today, so I was glad so I can get it. And I haven't even been on the golden hour either, so check me out on the golden hour. But you know what, guys? This week, guess what? I'm going to be at Laugh Boston Friday and Saturday. If you're in the Boston area and you want to see me do some comedy, come on out to Laugh Boston in Boston. So check me out there. I haven't even been able to update my website, so go to Laugh Boston's website. I'm going to try to do that today, get that ticket link up there. You go to my Instagram. I put it in my story. So you can go to Laugh Boston's Instagram and get some tickets, man. So anyways, I'll see you guys in Boston. And I appreciate everybody for, always being loyal to the show. Great stuff. I don't even know what to say sometimes. You guys are really, really fantastic. I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I love doing Riffin with Griffin. It's like one of my, it's almost like a guilty pleasure for me, and I still do want to grow the show. So, I need, spread the word for me. Let people know, hey, I really enjoy this podcast. It's one of my favorite podcasts to watch. So that definitely will help the show grow. All right. But you know what time it is now, how we do at this point in the show. Oh, yeah. It's that rap recap. Yeah. Daddy's back. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo! Did it again. Tell your friends. I'm directing and acting. That beat should be a little longer. Anyways, thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin, and I'll see you guys next week.